When people think about moving to Florida, they usually think about Miami or Orlando first. But there's an area that a lot of people don't even consider. And once they see it, it completely changes how they look at Florida. I know I did. So today, I'm going to walk you through what most people don't know about Florida's Space Coast and why more people are moving here. So the Space Coast is one of Florida's best kept secrets, in my opinion. We are completely centrally located between Miami and Orlando. It's called the Space Coast because we can actually see the rocket launches from NASA right in our backyard in Cape Canaveral. We're about an hour to Orlando, 2 hours to West Palm, and 3 hours to Miami. So location-wise, I mean, this is it. So if you were flying into the Space Coast, our closest airport is Melbourne, Florida, which is actually in this Space Coast. And then we have a larger airport, which is going to be Orlando, which is, depending on where in the Space Coast you reside, anywhere from 35 minutes to an hour and a half. Your closest major city to the Space Coast is going to be Orlando. I mean, it's a quick day trip for you to drive to Orlando, whether you're a half an hour, depending on where you live in the Space Coast. You can enjoy all the theme parks. I mean, I go there often. I'm a big foodie outside of the Space Coast and what it has to offer. I'll drive to Orlando with my daughter. We'll go to Disney, Universal, maybe grab some food, do a concert. There's a lot of things to do in Orlando, but that is your closest major city that most people know about. So the Space Coast is really known for, if you're talking about people who are coming to visit and tourists, Cocoa Beach and Cape Canaveral is going to be your most known area in the Space Coast. Cocoa Beach for the beaches, and it is one of the closest beaches to Orlando, and Cape Canaveral for its cruise port. It's one of the largest cruise ports out here. If you're looking to take a Disney cruise, you're actually coming into the Space Coast for that. I think people overlook this area when searching in Florida because they're just not aware of it. I do think it's a hidden secret and a hidden gem because most people just aren't knowledgeable about it. If you're flying into Orlando, you may come to Cocoa Beach or Tampa, but you're not really exploring the other parts of the Space Coast. Melbourne Beach, Indy Atlantic, Viera, Palm Bay. There's just so much that this county has to offer. I just don't think that people are aware of it. When people realize where the Space Coast is and what we have to offer, they immediately fall in love. I mean, the lifestyle is so easy. I mean, our beaches are really one of the most beautiful beaches. We've got gorgeous waves, beautiful sand, clear water, and also there's so much here to offer as far as shopping is concerned. The lifestyle here, it caters to really anyone and everyone. If you're more of a beach person, if you like to live a little bit more inland and want more things to do like shopping, you can kayak, paddleboard. There's a lot of nature stuff for you to do here as well. But the amount of things to do here, I think, caters to a variety of different people. And I think that's what makes it so special here. So what it feels like to live in the Space Coast is, well, this is my day. You know, my weekly to do is I'll wake up in the morning, I'll get a coffee, I'll take a walk on the beach, or sometimes at night I'll put some wine in my Yeti and take a walk on the beach. It is a nice beach lifestyle. Whether you want to live beachside or inland, you're no more than 5 to 25 minutes max to the beach, really, anywhere you live here. There's a golf community here as well. It's very family oriented and has a huge community feel no matter where you live here. So a typical Saturday, I would say, it's hard to answer because it depends on the person, right? If you're a beach person, most of my beach people love to surf, they paddleboard, they kayak. If you're not an outdoorsy person, or hiking, biking, all the things, you know, what's great about this area is that there is something to do all year long. If you're a big foodie, there's so many restaurants here to try, and there's always something new coming as well. So there's always something new and fresh for you to do here. As far as entertainment is concerned, we have the King Center here in the Space Coast where we have concerts, comedy shows, things of that sort. We have an art district as well. I mean, I would say the answer to that is very hard because it depends on what you like to do, but I'm confident in saying that no matter what that is, we have it here. The energy in the Space Coast is different from Miami in a sense that we are definitely a lot slower and more intentional. There's a big wellness space here. It's very laid back. I mean, the closest that I can explain it is if you've ever been to Hawaii, it's similar to that, but not exactly. And it's going to be the closest place to Hawaii that I can explain to you. It's a cozy surf town area, but also with lots to do. We definitely don't have your, skyscrapers and large buildings and heavy traffic. That's just not our area. If you want to go to it, it's a quick 3-hour drive. But I like that it's quieter, it's more laid back. And if I want to go to the busy, which trust me, I enjoy it all the time, I just drive. I'll either drive to Miami or I'll take the Bright Line or I will drive to Orlando. That's where all your amusement parks are. So we don't have any of that, but I appreciate the fact that we don't have that. And the Bright Line is gonna be a newer addition to the Space Coast, which I'm so excited about because currently, if I want to go to Miami, I will drive to West Palm, hop on the train, and travel to Miami just because I don't like to do the traffic. I like to be able to do my work on the Bright Line, not have to drive. And honestly, when I go to Miami, I don't really drive anyways. I Uber, so it's very, very convenient. Currently, the Bright Line goes from Orlando. It stops in West Palm, Boca, and all of Miami. And we are gonna have a stop in the Cape Canaveral area and eventually Tampa will too. So you'll really be able to take the Bright Line up and down the coast at any time. And that to me is very exciting. So if you're looking for a quieter area, but still conveniently travel to any of those places, this is it. 100%. I get a lot of relocation buyers often. Most of my clients are coming here because they have a contract that they're starting here in the Space Coast and they've never been here before. So I actually take them on a tour. I really just take them on what I consider my Space Coast tour after having a very in-depth conversation with them and getting to know not what their current lifestyle is, but what they want their lifestyle to be when they move to Florida. I get to know who they are as people, what they like to do, and what their goal is. And based on that, I really try to show them the areas that fit the lifestyle that they want to live and the lifestyle that they want to continue to live. By the way, I'm Phelyna. I help people relocating figure out where their lifestyle actually fits, whether that's here in the Space Coast or somewhere else. If you're exploring your options, you can scan here and I'll help you map it out. Most of my clients are extremely shocked because believe it or not, the things that and I hear this often, you can do as much research that you can at home and online and Google, but there are just some things that ChatGPT and Google aren't going to share with you that only us locals know that can show you. So like Melbourne Beach is a very sweet town. If you Google the Space Coast, they're really going to show you Cocoa Beach, right? They're not going to give you the ins and outs of Viera, and you can try to drive yourself to certain places, but without having a guide, you're missing out on so much of what this place has to offer. And I will say the majority of people that I have toured and showed this area, they're very surprised at how much it has to offer and how large it is in the Space Coast, believe it or not. And also, even if you are inland, depending where inland you are, you're not far from the beach at all. You're anywhere from 5 minutes, no more than 25 minutes to the beach, if not right across the street or on the ocean. I think a lot of people are starting to notice this area and move here and relocate here because they do want a more intentional, easy lifestyle, but also want to be close proximity to all the things, right? Like the busyness of Miami, the fun of West Palm, Orlando, to be able to put your kids or yourself, your spouse, whatever the case is, in the car and just go to Orlando and go to Disney for the day and go drive right back home and be out of the busyness is really special. Also, our price points here, whether you're on the ocean, on the river, or anywhere else, is still very, very nice compared to your Miami, your Tampa, or really anywhere else. I will say you get more house for your money here in this area, and the lifestyle that we have to offer, it really is pristine. I mean, considering that 90% of the schools are rated A, how aesthetically pleasing and clean it is out here, and how gorgeous our beaches compared to anywhere else in Florida, it really is something that people are starting to notice. We are a very large area for aerospace technology companies. It's constantly growing and it's bringing in people from all over the world, and not to mention having the Space Force here brings in a lot of military. I also think think too, the healthcare field out here is growing with Health First is also another big company that's coming here. We now have Amazon here as well. Brightline is coming. We're getting a big Westin. I mean, there's so much growth here, bringing in so many industries and people from relocating from all over the world. And as far as catering to lifestyle, besides golf, you have river and you have ocean. So that really just tackles everyone that's coming here from no matter where you are, there's something for you to find here. We're also getting an aquarium. We have a zoo here. It's called the Brevard Zoo. When I first took my daughter there, I was really surprised at how interactive it is. You can actually zip line throughout the zoo. When you zip line throughout the zoo, you can actually look down, you see the monkeys, you see the tigers. And another special thing about the Brevard Zoo too is you can kayak throughout the zoo, and while you're kayaking, you see all the animals, the giraffe, you get to feed the giraffes. I mean, like, you're face to face with a giraffe. It's something that I recommend anybody to go to, regardless of if you have kids or not. It's a very interactive zoo, trust me, and it's very large. A spin-off of the zoo is going to be an aquarium that we're getting here in Brevard County as well. So lots of growth, lots of job opportunities. I can go on and on about how many industries are here, coming here, growing here, and so on and so forth, but it is a long list, and I feel like that's also bringing a lot of people to this area. If you're looking in Miami, if you're looking at Orlando, I mean, I honestly, a lot of my clients who look here, if they're looking here, they're looking at a different part of Florida as well, unless you're moving here for work. I mean, that's the reality of it. I recently had a client who's looking here, Wellington, Ocala, Tampa. Rarely do I have someone who's looking here and Miami. I do have a lot of people from Miami moving here, only because they're looking for a slower private lifestyle, right? Like if you purchase a home on our beach is pretty private. I mean, obviously you're gonna see some people there, but depending on where you are on our coast, the beach is pretty much yours for the majority of the part. So a lot of people who are moving here from Miami like the fact that the beach isn't so crowded, and they just want something slower, something more intentional, something where you have more community. Everyone's walking around in flip-flops and shorts here, for the majority of it. It's slower, but not in a bad way, in the most peaceful way. Is this more of a live here or a visit here type of place? I think it's a visit, and once you visit, you'll want to live here. It's very diverse here in the Space Coast. I mean, when I say diverse, I don't just mean in nationality and race, I mean diverse in age. Because of all the industry that we have and job opportunities here, military, aerospace, tech, healthcare, it's bringing so many people. You have people out straight from college going for engineer opportunities out here. You have people who are retiring here. You have military families out here. I mean, it really is a melting pot in the Space Coast. So I think people think Florida and they think, oh, it's for retired people. And I can guarantee you, I'm not retired. And there's plenty of people here. I think you'd be shocked at how diverse age and race-wise it is out here. I find that's what I appreciate about this area. I think my clients that are relocating here really appreciate the fact that they can come to me for anything. You need a recommendation for a hairstylist, a barber, what to do on a Saturday. You need a handyman, electrician, really suggestions on, where to take your parents in Cocoa Village, or you want to go explore Viera or even Orlando or Miami. Like, I have a list of things for you to do. And I think being that go-to person and being like a full service agent for anything that has to do with what you want, what you need, what you like to do, I take pride in that.